Welcome. I bid you welcome. John Clauser, Johnny Metal, the Metal Dad, coming to you from my music corner of the world. Welcome to another edition of Mortification Monday. That series I take a look at Australian death, power, thrash, grind, extreme, whatever one you want to call it. But most importantly, and Steve Rowe would definitely say this, Jesus metal, Mortification. This is the album I'm going to take a look at today, Live Planetarium. This is their first live album. This would be recorded on October 1st of 1993 at the Black Stump Festival in Appin, North Southwest Australia. Not sure about that North Southwest stuff, but you Australians obviously know something about it. Anyway, this was produced by Doug Saunders. This would be mixed a little later in the month, um, throughout the October of '93, and would be released on Intense Records um, here in the States. Now, this is the version. This is the actual CD that I had gotten when I was introduced to this band. So the story, um, before I go into the album, the story of how I got into Mortification was I met a fella through a friend of a friend kind of a thing. It was one of these, it's kind of a long drawn out story there, but I met a guy that he played drums. He also was into heavy metal, also was a Christian. He was when I met him when we started talking, he introduced me to a number of different bands. And Mortification was one of them. This is actually his copy. He just he lent me this and Tourniquets, Vanishing Lessons. And there was like two others. Zion, I think, was one of them. And hmm, I know there's another one, and I just can't remember what it was off the top of my head. But anyway, and we jammed, for a while, and I just got listening to these things, and I just really fell in love with these. It was scratching that itch to get back into metal in 1998, which is when I discovered them. Um, so we would jam a little while, and unfortunately, he had some family issues and he wound up moving from Delaware up to Jersey. And I never got to. I saw him like once again after that. He just kind of showed up randomly at my house one time, um, but I had all these I had a few CDs of his. I think he had a few of mine, but oh well. uh, it's okay. But yeah, that's how I got introduced to Mortification, and I just listened to this quite a lot. This is a really great live album. One that I'm sure is not going to be seen or heard by many, maybe. But if you really dig into this band, this era of the band was just so tight and so musically good. Just really amazing sound. Um, Over the years, I also was able to um, come across a cassette version. I didn't want. There's the case for it, but yeah, managed to find a cassette version of it. Um, in the in this Intense Years box set that came out, you get a CD version with a new cover, slightly different track listing than what appears on the original CD. I'll get into that in a minute. And as well as its first, I believe it was the first vinyl pressing of this album. Came out in 2019 on Soundmass Records. And you can also, if you're able to track this down, they also have a DVD of and VHS of that performance from Black Stump. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so what all do we have on this album? I'm going to actually refer to um, I'm actually going to refer to the DVD listing as far as what they go into here. So So you have the opening track, which is Grind Planetarium from Post Momentary Affliction. Great track. Just again, a very what sounds like a very complicated song really comes together really, really well and just sounds so good live. From there, they go into Distarnished Priest, um, another favorite amongst the Mortification fans. Steve goes into kind of a little brief history of the band, which then leads into Brutal Warfare, which was on the first Mortification album. They go into Scrolls of the Megaloth, the classic title track from their landmark second album. They talk. There's a little bit of talk about playing live, which then goes into a song that was on, yeah, was on. Was this on Post Momentary Affliction? Symbiosis is the name of the song that they're going into. And Symbiosis is a great song. I think that would actually be on Blood World now that I think about it. Um, New song called Time Crusaders. Um, they go then after Time Crusader, which was, like I said, this was a new song. And Steve like to talk a little bit, give these little monologues in between some songs. And he kind of talks about the dark side of metal and thrash metal, death metal especially, and they certainly have seen a lot of that if you ever read Steve's story. And on this uh, on this DVD and original CD release, um, they do a version of a song called Black Snake from another pioneering Christian metal band called Bloodgood. By 1993, they had decided to kind of call it a day for a little bit and focus more on ministry. And they do a pretty good version of it. I think it's a pretty fun version of the song. From there, they go into another song from Post Momentary Affliction called Human Condition. Steve talks a little bit more. They go into a couple quick little Thrasher, quick mosh, and out the door you go with the famous God Rules or Majestic Infiltration of Order. And then he talks about this momentary affliction, which, as the lyrics go, crushes momentary pain. But he also acknowledges that the song, when you hear it, it sounds like Christ will return again. So there's that. Absolutely great performance. As Steve kind of mentions here on the back of the DVD here, I guess many bands don't realize it when they create groundbreaking music, and they certainly really were. According to most who love this band, our early era was our definitive time. Yeah, I would agree with that. The combination of Jason Sherlock's blistering drum skills, Mick Carlisle's rhythm genius, and my ability to smile while playing death metal was and is amazingly hailed by fans still to this day. And Steve, if you ever get to see this, I agree because I still love listening to these albums, and I even pop this DVD in every now and then. Um, he does lament that Jason never got to tour with the band internationally, choosing to leave the group in early '93. Um, Mick and Steve did get to tour the U.S. with Vengeance Rising drummer Johnny Vasquez. Um, Jason did regroup long enough to at least do this. Um, and probably a wonderful moment in mortification history. I would agree with this. Um, I'll go more into this with Blood World. Phil Gibson would come in to replace on drums, and then they would record that album. They would tour, um, and yeah. So that's getting a little bit ahead of myself. Now, I mentioned that there's some different track listings. So when you get this version here on in the Intense Records box set, they exclude Black Snake. I'm guessing for licensing reasons more than likely. Um, and on the vinyl version, they also exclude Symbiosis. My guess here would probably just be for space reasons. That would probably be my guess. Because this CD clocks in at just about an hour long. So I don't think they wanted to get too intense on a lot of long songs where you're drowning out sound quality and different things like that. Um, Also on the CD version, you get a studio version of Time Crusaders. So very cool. Anyway, again, love this album, love this live album. It's just I just have such a soft spot for this era of the band, and I always will. And really, I have a deep love, as you will see in upcoming episodes for the next eras of this band. So next week we'll come back and I'll talk about Blood World, and I'm looking forward to that. That was probably be one of their more commercially successful albums. So looking forward to that. So until next week, come back and we'll talk about some Blood World. Rock forever, y'all. We'll talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Thank you.